What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Real Talk NFTs, where we talk all things Web3. I'm your host, Joe. Very excited today. Been a long time been trying to get these guys on a podcast and finally did or have them now. Welcome, Matt Schorr from Dapper Labs onto the pod.
Hey, Joe. How's it going? Really appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been with TopShot since you guys started, and I've been, seeing you guys in person. I was like, hey, when can we get you guys on? And everyone's like, oh, we'll get you somebody. But, finally, Matt, you're the savior. Thanks for coming on.
I'm here.
So all the hard questions are going to go to you.
Bring it on. I'll do my best to answer them.
No, we'll have a lot of fun for sure. Like we mentioned before we started recording, you wear many hats or had many hats in Dapper Labs. And maybe you can tell us even before, dial it back before. We see you're a collector. I know that you were in law. How'd you get into NFTs, or Web3? Give us a whole backstory.
Yeah, for sure. So, I was in law for about a decade. Worked in an employment law firm. Was a partner at the firm, and I just assumed that law was my life. That was it. Like, I suffered through law school. I suffered through the bar exam. Like, law is it. Like, let's just do it. And I found TopShot at the end of 2020. Made an account early 2021 and started buying like crazy. And I jumped on like the Discord, and I was like a mod on there, and I jumped into like the help channel before they had any like customer support and all that stuff. So me and another few people would act as customer support each day, and we just like learned a ton about the product that way. And then we would have meetings with Jacob, and then Uzman, who used to be the community lead way back when. And so I did that for several months, and never at any point did it cross my mind that, hey, I might be working for this company one day. But Jacob reached out to me one day and it was like, hey, we'd love to bring you on. Are you interested? And I was like, send me an offer. Like, let me know like what is available. If, happy to do so if there's something that makes sense for me. And so we went back and forth forever. And because he started off like offering me like just like a contractor role. I don't think he realized at the time what I did for a living at all. So then we had that conversation. He goes, okay, got it. Let me get back to you. Got back to me, gave me an offer that was acceptable. I took a massive pay cut to get into Web3 and get into sports, and like it was always my dream to work in sports. And nice. I've been in crypto forever. I was one of the funders of the Josh Wise Dogecoin NASCAR back in 2012 or 13, whatever that was.
Wow.
So like I've been around it forever. So like the fact that I could actually do something in sports and Web3 crypto was like, all right, if I don't take this job, I'm going to regret it for a really long time. So I took the job, and, I actually am hitting my 3-year anniversary in like a week here. So haven't looked back at all. I'm in retired status in New Jersey as a lawyer. I mean, I still have the professional license, so do some continuing credits and can always bring it back. So it's nice to have that sort of parachute, but I don't plan on using it.
Well, we have a lot of legal questions for you on this pod. I'm kidding. Wow, 3 years. That is, it seems like 20 years we've been in, Web3 and cryptos is like dog years, right? I imagine, just how it's gone by for you, like so many iterations of not only NBA TopShot, but, NFTs and Web3. Where do we start, right? So congrats for 3 years. Super excited to have you on board, because I'm surprised we haven't crossed paths. I'm at almost all NBA TopShot events. So yeah, I'm excited. We're going to probably meet this weekend. So I need to watch what I'm asking here. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I saw the NLL shirt. I was wondering if you're going to be there, but yeah, I'll be at the pickup basketball game.
Oh, nice.
I'll be at
pool party.
The pool party. Cool. Brunch, I probably won't make it to. I have a 7 a.m. tea time at TPC Las Vegas Sunday morning before it gets too hot, but I have to play that course. And so if I get done in time, I'll definitely swing by. But definitely excited to hang out with collectors, go to Summer League. I got tickets to see Dead & Co. at the Sphere. Maybe play in the World Series of Poker. Who knows? Vegas is Vegas. Let's have some fun, right?
And for the future reference, Roham, if you're listening to this, which you should send Matt to the Team USA game. Even though it's not NBA Top Shot related, we would love NBA Top Shot Team USA moments. Personally, I would like a Cooper Flag moment, even though it's a practice.
Oh, man. Cooper Flag would do some numbers, I think.
Yeah, well, he'll come out next year, maybe or two, right? NBA Top Shot. So, something to look forward to.
I would imagine next year. I can't imagine him doing 2 years of college.
Right. He looks ready.
Kevin Durant thinks he's ready, so that's good enough for me, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I got to twist your arm. I saw a happy hour potentially with Dapper Lab employees also after the pool party. So, yes. I need to see who I need to talk to make that work out.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get you there. I can tell you that there will be a guest of honor.
Oh,
a rookie.
Okay.
I can't tell you which rookie, but a rookie.
Okay, let's see.
But yes, that'll be fun. Get to hang out with him, and that'll be good for the people that are attending that event.
I probably have this rookie moment just saying, you can check my NBA Top Shot maybe afterwards to see if I have
incoming rookie.
Incoming rookie.
Okay,
gotcha.
So you definitely don't have a moment.
I don't have the moment yet. I don't have it yet. Cool. Well, that is something I need to definitely sneak into. I'm just going to bump into you there. How about that?
Yeah, there you go. I'll get you on the guest list. Oh, I know this guy. Get on in here.
Cool. So that leads us to some questions. We want to keep it fun here. I'm so happy that you came from the collector side, right? And you're collecting a bunch of other stuff prior, so it makes sense. So you kind of know where we're at in terms of what the community is looking for. And I've seen you so responsive, and I'm so excited. Of everyone just asking you, some positive questions. So I have some questions for you about, just where NBA Top Shot's headed overall, Dapper Labs maybe. I don't know how kind of what your purview is over there, but there was, or maybe we are right now in an inflection point. Just curious of your thoughts of NBA Top Shot overall amongst the crypto and Web3 market, and just kind of where we're headed, because I've seen the presence of NBA Top Shot in terms of marketing wise. It used to be a lot, and it kind of slowed down a bit.
Yep. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. So I think one of the biggest things around the marketing component of things is we have worked really, really hard over the last year or so trying to repair the economy. There were some mistakes made in the past, and there's no sugarcoating it. We made some really, really major economic mistakes, and we've had to work really hard to fix it. And so I think we're on a good path back from the economy side. And so that's one part of it. We want to have a healthy economy when we're spending big marketing dollars. But even more importantly, and this is something that I spent the entire year obsessing over, is conversion rate. So making sure that the new users we're bringing in are actually converting, are actually buying something, are actually becoming participants in the marketplace, participants in the product, are here to stay, basically. And so if I can't get that number high enough up, then what'll happen if we spend a ton of marketing dollars is, sure, we can bring 1 million people in, but I'll just throw a random number out there. Like if conversion on that 1 million people is only 1%, then or less than that, 0.1%, now we're in big trouble. So I think a lot of it is just making sure that we get our product into a place where a new user comes in, knows what's going on, knows what the product is, knows what they're buying, is excited about it, and converts into a new user. And so we are getting really close to that, I think. We've been putting it off, and as you said, the marketing has kind of been pulled back. I think you're going to start seeing it more and more as we become more and more confident in that new user flow. And there are a lot of people working really hard on it, and really good stuff's happening there. So I'm pretty I feel pretty good that we're going to get back there. But that, to answer your question, that's why we've kind of pulled back, because if we're just hemorrhaging money on marketing and people aren't converting to new users, sure, it makes the existing users excited that they're seeing all this great advertising, but if new users aren't actually converting and becoming good new users, then it's all for nothing. It's all for show. It's a vanity. And so we just want to be responsible in that regard. And when we go and spend that money, we make sure that we're getting bang for our buck and bang for the buck of the community.
Makes complete sense. Personally, wheel it back if you need, as long as we have good enough runway. I would love to see NBA Top Shot succeed in the long run. And I know that we just have to kind of bridge this point, I call it an inflection point, where adopters, people come in notably and stay, right? And I'm noticing that myself. People are messaging me out of the woodworks asking if I'm still an NBA Top Shop, and they used to have an account and they're kind of coming back. I'm wondering if you're seeing kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, so we are seeing that. We are seeing reactivation. Reactivation is not something we specifically are working on right now, but we are seeing those numbers go up. We saw a big inflection in reactivation when Fast Break first went public. We saw a lot of people coming back and playing the game and getting super into it, and we would love to see more of that continue. But there is definitely something going on right now where people are like, all right, I've done all the PFP projects. I've done the DeFi stuff. I've done the meme coins. I've done it all. It's all stressful as hell. Let me just come back to what brought me in here. And so I don't like calling it this, but it's the best way to explain it. TopShot was the gateway drug to NFTs.
Yeah.
And, to make that comparison go a little bit deeper, TopShot is safe. You have Dapper Wallet. It doesn't ever get, extorted or taken over or drained. It's completely safe. You can onboard fiat. It's just it's there. And then once you get into using other chains and other coins and buying other NFTs, all sorts of things can happen, and it just keeps getting wilder and wilder and wilder as you branch out further and further. And I think there is something to be said that we have sort of just been steady. We've been there. We've continued building. We've continued putting out product, and we've continued trying to make the whole product simpler and easier to understand and use. Whereas, I talk to people who are moving ETH into Solana so they can stay up till 3 a.m. Micro trading meme coins for presidents, and so there's something for everybody, and I'm sure there are people that absolutely love doing that. But if you just want to have a fun experience on blockchain, TopShot has always just been the easiest thing to do. So we are definitely seeing people coming back, and hopefully that trend continues, and we're seeing new users come in, and hopefully we can continue converting them. I do think there is, a bit of an inflection point. We've gotten the product to a good place. Now can we really bring it back to the glory it once saw? And that remains to be seen. But I think people are realizing that a product like ours is a lot less scary than some of the other things going on in crypto. And, that's what we're going to try to continue being, is just a good collectible. Cards have been around forever. We've been around for, not even 4 years yet, which is crazy to say out loud that TopShot hasn't been what was it? It went public October 2020. I think the first day was June 2020. So we just passed 4 years from the alpha. Yeah. So we're still maturing as a collectible. We're still waiting for that mass adoption. I just saw a great tweet this morning that I forget what the company's called, but there's a company that is putting I just went blank. A company that's putting a your, not your driver's license, I forget what it is, but some sort of number attached to you personally, and it was going to be on chain, and so people, it was to help out with identity theft and things like that. So I think we're going to start seeing more and more of that, because it's a lot harder to steal something on the blockchain. But just seeing more mainstream use cases coming in is better for everybody. And PFPs, as it turned out, seems like it was a fad. I think art's going to stay for the most part. Collectibles are collectibles, they come and go, but collectibles have been around forever, and buying PFPs for millions of dollars has not. So I feel pretty confident with collectibles on chain becoming pretty popular, especially with this younger crowd that lives on their phones, lives on their tablets, lives on their laptops. Once that generation gets their hands on this stuff, I'm talking about the kids that are 13, 14, 15 years old now. In 3-4 years, man, they're all going to be wanting to get their digital footprint bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about on the phones, mobile apps, let's talk about NBA Top Shop app. You may not be the right person, but you know, like you said, it's been 4 years, but we're still in beta. The app is, I think that mobile app it might be still in beta also, and a lot of features are probably going to roll out with there. But personally, I use the web platform or the web app more so than the mobile app. One thing I can think of is I can't make offers on the mobile app. And so that's a big thing for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other buyers. But I mean, we're just nitpicking here, right? Because we're the Genesis users, right? So how's the adoption been in terms of, I would say, versus the web app, the mobile app? Because we know most things in the world operate through apps nowadays, and I come from the domain name space world, so websites are popular, but most of traffic go through mobile.
Yep. Yeah. So it's interesting because I was such a power user before I joined, and still am to this day. I'm always on my computer for work. I almost always use web, and even on my phone, out of habit, I just jump on the mobile web. Like I don't even think to open the app. Which I'm sure they don't want to hear me say that, but it's true. I'm just so comfortable and used to the web version of it. I know where everything is. I use it so often that I don't have to even think about it. It's just, oh, yep, click, click, click. I know exactly where I'm going. I think the app still has some work to do to make it to provide that parity with the web experience. And there are actually conversations even this week about making the front page of the app a lot more like the front page of the website, and connecting all the dots in the right way. So definitely going to continue still working on that. In terms of adoption, what's really interesting is people who created an account through the app almost exclusively use the app. The people who already had accounts and were using the product before the app came out, downloaded the app, have the app, but don't use the app. Not nearly as much. So it's very clear that if somebody starts their journey on there, they stay on there, they get used to it, they know how to use it. But anybody beforehand, which is 99% of TopShot users, because we had 1 million people join early on, those are the people that are so used to the web that they kind of gravitate to the web as their first thought, or they have it saved on their phone in a certain way that they don't even think to go to the app. Now, if they get a push notification, maybe they'll jump into the app or whatever. Sure. But yeah, so it's really interesting. The people who created the account on app really use the app a lot. The people who didn't create their account through the app, it's kind of mixed. Some use it a decent amount, but I'd say a lot of them still prefer to use the web based on the data we're seeing. So we still have some work to do to create that parity.
Yeah, but that speaks to the strength of NBA Top Shot, in my opinion, because outside of Web3, even a lot of websites don't even work on your phone. And I've done multiple drops on my phone throughout the years, and I'm just very happy with not the mobile app yet, but that I can go on my phone and do basically everything that I want to do with NBA Top Shot that you can do on a computer. So hats off to you guys. Absolutely. There. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the main things that we want to continue doing. I love MetaMask. I've been using it forever, but the mobile version, to connect to certain sites, is just an absolute nightmare. It doesn't work. I have to click in and out several times. I never have those issues with the loops on TopShot, on All Day, on Disney, whatever. So there are companies out there, MoonPay is doing amazing stuff. Magic Eden's making things super easy. So there are great companies out there that are constantly working on these problems and making things better. And, we're still so early. It's only going to get better and better.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting.
Yeah. I mean, there seems like there's always something to work on or experiment with NBA Top Shot. And you guys being the trailblazers, I would say, I give you guys a little bit of breathing room to make mistakes because it's such an ancient, early technology that most people don't even understand that it's not just a collectible, right? You have gamification of collectibles, which you can't really do with physical cards. So, I mean,
I have all the stuff back here. the company doesn't know I own all this stuff. There's no record on chain, like, so they're not going to give me anything for having this huge collection I have. And the fact that we're able to reward the best collectors, like me as a collector, that's what drew me in. It was like, wait, I can win stuff just for collecting the stuff I was going to collect anyway. Like, yes, more, give me more.
Yeah, and there's so much that has come through that worked or hasn't worked. I wouldn't say TopShot score hasn't worked, but a lot of people push for that and they didn't get rewarded in the way that they would liked. I mean, I understand we're trying new things, right? You're trying new things for the first time, you're trying to go through, navigate through this dropping system that you can't really do with physicals, right? Where people get in line. And there's so many mechanisms that you guys probably pioneered. I guess the question here is, what would you say are some of the main pillars for NBA Top Shop as a focus, either looking 10 years in the future or even this year?
Yeah, so to start off here, like, there's no playbook for what we're doing. We're writing the playbook sort of, and I think others have sort of done things that we've done and built on them, and like now we're starting to look at some of these other companies and like, all right, like, just as like NHL Breakaway, I think, is doing some amazingly cool stuff. Their trading platform is really cool. Their pack opening experience is really cool. Cryptoys is doing some really awesome stuff. So one big thing that we're looking at is, how do we make our pack opening experience better? We've looked at Arena Club. We've looked at all these different Web3 companies and how they're doing it and how we can improve ours and make it a more fun, more delightful experience. We want to make sure that when people have that first touch point with us, it's like love at first sight. And as fun as our pack opening is now, it's no longer the industry standard. And I think we need to catch up a little bit there. We did some awesome work in making our legendary cube, our legendary pack, into a cube that has like all sorts of animations and opens, and just so psyched how that came together. And we just need to build off that and make sure we're staying top of the line and that sort of thing. So that's one major area of focus. Another area of focus is, we just want to be more involved in arenas. We'd love to be able to reward fans that are in the arena in some way, shape, or form. So working through ways that we can do that type of thing. We want to get more real life prizing. Burning is such a huge part of what's helped us, get the economy back in check. We could do even more there. The more, IRL experiences and game worn memorabilia, whatever that we can get. So that's another thing that is top of mind. And then of course, just making our offering with Fast Break even better, even more sticky, even more exciting, and working to bring that sort of thing to NFL as well. So I think those are like some of the really big things there. And then lastly, we're really working hard on making the collector experience better. Making it so you can display your collection in different ways, making it so that people can enjoy your profile and your collections in new and interesting ways, and making you proud to show off your collection. Right now, it kind of just sits there. Like, I say sometimes internally, like, I have boxes of cards sitting here. It's basically what's happening now because I can't display them in any way. So, these are big issues that we're working through, and people definitely want to show off their collections, and we just need to give them the tools to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. 3 years ago, I was walking through like a virtual showroom of NFTs. I'm surprised that it hasn't really taken off more than it has. But with Apple coming out with their vision, I see myself hanging my moments around my house in a way that's not taking up any space, which is great. I look forward to that.
Exactly.
I look forward to that.
And you put that on and then you can see them. Yeah. The Vision Pro is so cool. I got to try it out, and it's a pretty amazing tool just for like productivity. If, and making sure you're getting stuff done around the house while you're working. I don't know. It's wild. I don't know what it's going to become over the next few years. I always feel like I know what's coming, and then something like that pops out. But like, to be able to display in AR or VR our moments and watch the plays happen and see everything about the moments is really exciting to me. And I'm hopeful that we can, move further there and really deliver something that is fun and exciting for our collectors to show off to their friends and family. But, even more importantly, make sure that they can enjoy their collection themselves. This collection behind me, if they were all just sitting in a box somewhere, I'm not going to enjoy it. But every time I walk down my steps into my office, I get to see this wall of toys, which goes all the way down to the other side of the room, the wall over here. Like, I get excited. I get enjoyment out of that. And so we need to figure out a way that a user can come in and see their favorite parts of their collection and get excited and want to add more to their collection. Because right now we're not providing enough of those exciting moments. And when I say moments here, I'm saying lowercase m moments, like, moments of enjoyment, moments that we are excited by in our product.
Yeah, absolutely. Two things that just popped up my head here, and feel free to steal this idea, or Roham, you could send me an offer too. But a lot of times when I go to a hotel, you're going to go to a hotel within a day or so. You see a lot of artwork around, right? And I always thought this would be a great use case for NFTs. You see a lot of artwork in hotels. What if you're able to just scan the QR code and you can mint one there on the spot, right? That will support the artist. That could support the hotel. NBA TopShot could do something in all NBA arenas, a dedicated NBA TopShot, moving screen with a moment of the day or a mystery box, for a moment of that day. I imagine so many people are used to scanning QR codes due to COVID, looking at menus, that they're like, hey, you know what? Let's just scan this, and I'm here. And you can't get it unless you're there, and that'd be something pretty cool and unique. So that's point number one. And
I
then
love that.
I
think we need some geolocation there.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I did the geolocation drop last year for NBA TopShot Summer League.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but some people did some VPNs and they work, so we gotta get that a little bit stronger.
I think the other thing, people always find a way if there is a way.
Yeah, but I don't think that many people is going to, or hopefully not, right? Game the system, but that's an idea. And it leads me to my second thought, which is, that's right. I have so many moments that I don't remember that I have them. Right? And you would love to showcase like your background beautifully. Like, I really like this one. Personally, one of my favorites was Allen Iverson. When I ripped that, I couldn't believe I got that. Lisa Leslie's first dunk. What is your favorite moment? And I'm trying to ask you to pick your favorite kid here, but
I have a couple. I'd say, okay, so
all right, one WNBA and one NBA.
The first moment I bought when employees were allowed to start buying again was Allen Iverson's TopShot debut. That was the moment I had to have. I'm a Philly fan through and through. I grew up on Iverson. I have Iverson jersey. When I played basketball, I wore a sleeve that I didn't need. I wore a headband. Like I did everything. I wore the answer shoes. Like when I played basketball when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I looked as much like Iverson's the what he wore as possible. So that would probably be my favorite, just because there's sentimental value with Iverson. Honorable mention though is the Steph Curry MSFE, which at the time was the fastest we ever turned around a moment in TopShot. And it was honestly close to not happening, and I was up on calls till 12 a.m., 1 a.m. to make sure that happened. So that one's always had some sentimental value to me. As for WNBA, I'm going to have to say my Maureen Johannes TopShot debut. I love watching her play. I'm bummed that because of like the weird overseas rules, she's not allowed to play in the league this year, because like her passes are just like she has like some Magic Johnson-esque passes, some Pistol Pete-esque passes where, over her head, behind like, so, and she's a great 3-point shooter. So I'm going to go with Maureen. Love her game. Hopefully she's back soon. Honorable mention, Caitlin Clark, TopShot debut. She's so fun to watch.
Of course.
She had an absolutely monster game today. Unfortunately, they didn't win, but she almost had a 5x5 game.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going for her expert master challenge, crafting challenge, by the way. And can we speak about WNBA for a moment? Like on-chain and off-chain, packing arenas, 10 times the all-star votes. What's happening? What is going on? Because we're seeing a major uptick in the TopShot world. Like I've never been so engrossed. I've never been so engrossed to a fast break with NBA. Like WNBA, I have 100 text messages a day. from all my friends about, hey, who are you starting? Yep. I'm just like obsessed. I don't know what's going on. Did I drink a Kool-Aid? What's happening? Because it's not only NBA TopShot, right? It's the whole world is kind of flipped on the switch.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really helps in the WNBA is there's only 12 teams. So the amount of players you need to know is, you need to know less than half of what you need to know in the NBA. And so I think that helps a little bit. I think the other thing that helps is the product is actually really fun to watch if you actually give it a chance and spend some time watching it. Now, listen, there's not going to be dunks. It's not going to be as athletic as the NBA. It's not going to be as guys jumping over each other and stuff like that. But the passing is crisp and good. The offensive sets and defensive sets are fantastic. I've actually learned a lot about professional basketball defensive schemes from watching WNBA this year, because they talk about, they're talking about blitzing, and they're talking about, stopping the ball and creating, double screens and all these things that, I knew sort of tangentially from watching basketball forever, but it's just a really good brand of basketball. And so I think people are starting to see that now. I think it also helps that this rookie class is just so iconic, and watching what happened in the NCAA playoffs where the women actually had a higher rating than the men. I think that speaks volumes to the draw power of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. And, there's just something about it. I haven't talked to anybody that can just vocalize what it is, but in sports, when you see it, you just know that it's something. Linsanity's a great comparison. I think this will have more staying power than Linsanity did, because Linsanity was just one player, and there's definitely something bigger happening here. But stuff like that just kind of comes out of nowhere and is okay, something different's happening here. But the sponsors jumping on, more NBA players going to games and talking about it, more media coverage all over the place. I think for so long the WNBA was just out of people's consciousness because no one was reporting on it, and now we're in a place where that's what everybody wants to talk about, and now it's everywhere. And so out of sight, out of mind is something that really hurt the WNBA, and I think right now we're seeing the opposite of that, and I just hope it continues growing, because I want these women to get paid a fair wage and really build the league up. We have 2 more teams coming in. I think they have another 2 on the horizon. So in the next few years, we'll be up to 16 teams. Still holding out hope that Philly gets a team. But it's been fun to kind of watch. And I've talked to my wife about this, but I was never a big WNBA fan. And then we got WNBA on TopShot, and I started following it. And I made sure I knew who all the players were, and so we can market them properly and make sure that we're building, good packs for the true WNBA fans. But last year I got really, really into it, had the league pass, was watching as many games, and now I'm obsessed with it. I will not miss a Caitlin Clark game. I was in meetings all morning. I had the game on my other screen, and they were making that crazy comeback today, and I was trying so hard not to go cheering. I had to face mute a couple times. So I've gotten just super, super into it. Really love it. I'm getting even cardboard. I'm getting into it. Got this Gem Mint 10 Inception. So, I'm in it now. I just love it.
Nice. Hopefully you could stay and watch the Aces versus Connecticut Sky game, because I might go to that in Vegas.
Yeah. So we were looking at the prices, and we were going to see if we could get the whole team to go, but the cheapest ticket now is $125. And I'm like, when did this happen? When the Sixers were tanking, I was going to games for 1 cent. It's really cool to see that the WNBA is able to pull that level of viewership.
Yeah, I got 2 questions. WNBA related, and maybe these are rumors, but do players get a little percentage of NBA TopShot at all? If you can answer that at all, because we definitely want to get more funding for the WNBA. That's the first question.
Yeah, so I don't have privy to like the way the deal works, so I don't want to misspeak. I know we have a deal with the Players Association. We have a deal with the league. In terms of numbers, I don't know how that all breaks down. In terms of like wanting to like help out the players, like I was always talking about like maybe having like a DAO that raised money, and then the DAO would vote on like which players get a bonus at the end of the season or something like that.
Sweet.
But like I've seen a couple like local sponsors like go into locker rooms and be like, "Hey girls, we're gonna give everybody on the team like a $50,000 bonus or whatever."
Wow.
So any little bit helps. And so I think the best way to do it would be crowdfunding, and then we could probably connect the dots to the players.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's really cool if that was a feature, right? Because the collectible could turn into kind of like a GoFundMe. You just buy massive amounts of that player's moment. So that's good to know. And question number 2, I've never bought as many NBA TopShot packs as I have with WNBA releases. So good job to you, Matt. So which leads me to a question. Is there going to be a mass listing feature? Because we bought hundreds of packs, hundreds. And I'm like sitting there opening some, listing some, opening some. So that's a question for you.
So I hope that we can add mass listing. I know Floaty has mass listing. I know it's not on our site, but it's something that we've talked about. I'm hoping we can have mass listing and mass buying. I would love to have like we've talked about like a shopping cart feature and basically it's on chain, so like if you're putting a bunch of stuff in your cart, basically what would happen is, all right, you have these 20 moments. Now you hit buy on all of them, and each one would be a transaction. And then you would be told, okay, these 16 went through. You weren't fast enough on these other 4. You're going to have to go back and pick a different one or whatever. So just working through how that will work, but definitely on the radar, definitely something we want to add to the product. Definitely something that makes the product more enjoyable to use and not feel like a chore. I went and bought the entire Series 2 base set, which is like 533 moments or something like that.
Took
and
forever.
So I was buying it like on Floaty. I was buying it on our site. I was just going back and forth trying to get the whole thing. And I did like a whole like diary of the process and the pain points. And I posted it in our Slack server. And I think it opened a lot of eyes because we don't have a lot of people who would go and buy that many moments on the team. We have a lot of collectors, but I don't think any of them are as crazy as me to go do something like that. And so a lot of learnings there that we're building off of to make it a lot more enjoyable for somebody that wants to go and one click buy a set. Just buy me the entire set at low ask. Stuff like that would increase the amount of sets completed, would increase the buying. It would increase so many things. It's such a chore to have to go one by one and pick and whatever. So just little things like that are just things that will help make people's experience on TopShot a lot better.
Absolutely. As a fan also, collecting Warrior sets, to your point, I had to click one by one on, contemporary, all time. Just last week, I was buying the Series 4 WNBA. It took forever, completing the challenges. I had to open up 10 tabs to complete the Angel Reese challenge and whatnot, make sure no one gets it before I do. So there's a lot of features that would really, really be helpful. And you mentioned Floaty, and this may not be a priority, but it's seeing Fast Break do so well. Is rentals going to come on at all with the wallet with Dapper, or is that something that's not even in consideration?
As far as I know, that's not something that has even been spoken about. I think that as far as I know, will be continuing just living on Floaty.
Okay.
It's a great service. I love that people use it. It makes complete sense to me why people use it. But with the amount of things that we're trying to fix, make better, create, that's not in our rank of prios right now.
Gotcha. Well, we could go on forever, but that's a good segue to kind of end everything that we're talking about here. What is the priority? What's like a win for 2024 year ending? And maybe what's like a more idealistic long-term vision that you or TopShot may have?
Ooh, good question.
I tend to do that. I tend to put 3 questions into one thing.
No, that's a really good question. Let me think about this. By end of 2024, Let me come back to that one. I think that one's tougher. The short term is there's so many different things going on. I don't know what number one is, but long term, for me is that Top Shot is in the mainstream, and it already sort of is in the mainstream. But what I mean in the mainstream is I grew up watching Sports Center. Like I want to hear a Sports Center anchor be like, "Oh, I can't wait to see that on Top Shot." Like I want it to be part. I want to be part of the zeitgeist. I want to be part of what's going on, and so I think we have a product that can do that really well, and I think we're close. So that's definitely one thing I want to see in the long term. In the short term, I'd say is getting into as many arenas as possible and providing exclusive moments for attending games. Because if we can show the NBA, like, hey, people are literally going to the game so they can get these exclusive moments, that's going to open up more doors. So as a short-term goal, I'd really love to see more Top Shot in arenas.
Okay. Yeah, you would get me in there for sure because I'm going there. Yeah, I need to get that moment.
Yeah. If you tell me that I have to go to the Sixers home opener to get the Paul George fresh threads, you better believe I'm going to be in that building one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I love about NBA Top Shot. Personally, I've been in the Web3 world. I collect a lot of NFTs, too many that, to mention. But Top Shot has always been kind of the foundation, primarily not only because it's the best, I would say. It's not really pegged with crypto at all, right? But also because of the events. Like I've been to so many in-person events with NBA Top Shot, even just locally, not even held by NBA Top Shot. I do have to give a shout out to the captains. Tim, especially if you're listening, Dubs, we're not looking great this next few years, but still we're hanging in there. We get
Tim's awesome.
Yeah, Tim's amazing. Awesome. He's also a commissioner for NLL, I think for this term. But yeah, the captains do so much work to make sure that the local people have something to attend in person. I really appreciate that, truly. And I really love that about NBA Top Shot. So nothing there, just a shout out to say you guys are doing a great job. And I hope the captains program continues.
Yeah, the captains have been great. Like I love the fact that, some captains decide to just go get a season ticket plan. Like to me, that was the play always, because there's a million things you can do with a season ticket plan in terms of giveaways, in terms of burning, in terms of challenges, in terms of, you can have your own fast break league and you get tickets for winning, a daily on fast breaking. So the possibilities are endless. So yeah, I hope it continues as well. Some of them have just put in so much time and energy to make it great. And I wish we were able to support them even more than we currently are, because to me, that is the lifeblood. And maybe one day when we have a lot more active users, it can pump back up quite a bit more and really see what it can do. Because if we had the team captains in April and May of 2021, who knows what would have happened?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I so look forward to what you guys have in the pipeline. I know there's a lot that you probably can't share because you're working on it, and I know that we're going to have you back because we can talk for like 2 hours. I have a list of questions.
Easily.
I have a list of questions I haven't even asked yet, but it's okay. We're gonna have some drinks this weekend. We're gonna get you back on hopefully every quarter, because I would say a lot of people are very curious about Top Shot because you guys are the North Star for a lot of people. So really appreciate you jumping on, Matt, and if you want to be found, feel free to shout out your socials, where to find you on Discord.
Yep. Everywhere I'm at Vinyls Never Die. That's my Discord. That's my Twitter handle. That's my Top Shot name. So if you want to find me, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, don't bother him too much, man. He's fixing the economy of Top Shot. He's actually doing an amazing job. Thank you so much. Buying you a couple of rounds in the next few days.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Matt, for hopping on.
Yeah, of course. No problem.